Recording in progress.
Morning guys, are getting the screen and voice, please confirm in chat box. Yes, thanks for confirmation. So as part of today's session, we are going to start our discussion about shell scripting guys. For DevOps engineers, shell scripting also very important to automate the regular activities guys. Okay, so before going into deep, at first we'll try to understand what is scripting. So what is the shell? Why we need the shell scripting? How to write the script files and all those things we will try to understand in the today's session. Okay, fine. Guys, what is shell guys? What is the shell? Anyone have any idea? What is shell? I think here we have most experience. Most of the people are experienced people are there. So can anyone confirm what is the shell? Today our topic is shell scripting. Okay, fine. So what is shell guys? Please respond. No idea? Very good. No problem. No problem. See guys, here till yesterday we have seen interface between command line and kernel. Very good. So till yesterday we have seen Linux, right? So we practiced so many Linux commands till yesterday session. So where we are giving the Linux commands, we are giving the Linux commands in the terminal guys. We are giving the Linux commands in the terminal. Okay, so whatever the commands you are giving in the terminal, who will validate those commands guys? Whether you are giving right command, syntactically that command is correct or not. Who will validate those commands? Shell will validate the commands. Shell only will validate the commands guys. Whatever the commands you are giving on the terminal, shell will read those commands and it will validate. Syntactically those commands are correct or not, shell only will validate. If syntactically those commands are not valid, then shell only will return the error messages guys. It won't forward further. Right here, shell is not processing your commands guys. Shell is not processing your commands. Shell is validating your commands guys. And who is processing your commands? Your commands are processing by the kernel. Here we have one more party, that is kernel. So kernel will process the commands guys. When kernel will process your command, if your command is syntactically valid, then only kernel will process your command. If command is syntactically not valid, then shell only will give the error message guys. Understood? Let observe carefully guys. Let connect with our Linux machine. So here Give me 1 minute, guys. Let me this mission yesterday. This mission got corrupted, guys. Let me create another virtual mission quickly. I forget yesterday corresponding keys are deleted. Fine. Already other system is there. Let me take this mission. Let me connect with this. Start this instance. Meanwhile, let me open the paint. Right. Now observe carefully, guys. Here you are going to get complete picture about scripting. What is shell? What is scripting? Everything. See, guys. Here what we will do, guys. As a user, we will type some commands in the terminal, guys. As a user, you are going to type some commands in the terminal. So what commands you will type? Generally, regularly we will type, right, pwd command, who am I command, date command, etc, etc. All these are the Linux commands we will use, guys. Okay, so you will give all these commands in the terminal, guys. In the Linux terminal, you will give all the commands. See, guys, here I am giving all the commands like this. Assume this is my terminal. Here I will give all these commands. Here I will give all these commands, guys, like this, right? Like this, I am giving all these commands, guys. Now here we have a shell, guys. We have shell. What shell will do? Whatever the commands you are giving here, shell will read all those commands. Shell will read all those commands here, guys. Okay, and shell will validate those commands. Syntactically, those commands are valid or not. Syntactically, these commands are valid or not, shell will validate. If these commands are valid syntactically, so then shell will talk to kernel to process these commands, guys. Shell will give the instructions to kernel to process these commands. If these commands are syntactically not valid, then shell only will return the error messages. It won't give the instructions to kernel, guys. Guys, observe carefully. Here we have shell and kernel. Two parties are available. Shell is going to work as a mediator between the user and kernel, guys. Shell is going to work as a mediator between the user and kernel. How it is going to work as a mediator? Here, whatever the commands user is giving, so these commands will take, right? So will read by shell, and shell will validate these commands. If these commands are not valid syntactically, then shell will return the error messages. Suppose if these commands are valid, if these commands are syntactically valid, then shell will give the instructions to kernel. Kernel, guys, here we have the kernel is available. Shell will give instructions to kernel to process those commands, guys. To process those commands. Right now here we have the kernel. Kernel is available. Kernel only will process these commands. Right, to process these commands, right, kernel will use some hardware resources, guys. Right, hardware resources means we have RAM is there, CPU is there. All these are the hardware resources only. Right, kernel will use some hardware resources to process those commands, guys. Here we have multiple hardware resources. So all these are the some hardware resources. Kernel will use these hardware resources to process these commands, guys. Like this. So here shell is going to work as a mediator between the user and kernel. kernel is going to work as a mediator between the shell and some hardware components. Who will validate your Linux commands? Shell will validate the Linux commands. Who will process your Linux commands? Kernel will process the Linux commands. Who will give the instructions to kernel to process these commands? Shell only will give the instructions to process those commands, guys. Right? When shell will give the instructions to kernel, if commands are syntactically valid, then shell will give the instructions to kernel to process these commands. If syntactically these commands are not valid, then shell only will return the error message to the user, guys. Have a look into this diagram. Clear? Everyone is clear? Guys, I will unmute, guys, but background noise, you guys, right? If required, then only you guys unmute and talk, guys. Otherwise, please put it in mute. Right? If I unmute everyone, right, what is happening? Some background noise is coming, guys. Right? Other people are getting disturbed. Okay, please cooperate, guys. Right now, let me unmute, but if required, then only unmute from your end, guys. Otherwise, please put it on mute. I will allow the permissions. Okay, fine, guys. So now observe carefully, guys. So this is our terminal. Here we are giving the commands like this: pwd, right? It means present working directory. Today date, this is the today date. Cal command, calendar, right? ls-l command. See, guys, so these are the files are available. See here, whatever the commands we are giving, all these commands syntactically valid. So shell will take these commands and shell will validate these commands. If syntactically all these commands are valid, here who is providing this response? These responses are not providing by the shell. So these responses are providing by the kernel, guys. Right? Shell will give the instructions to kernel to process these commands. Kernel will process these commands and it will provide the response, guys. Suppose if I given like this case, here pwd, I am giving. See, guys, here what you are getting, right? Command not found. Syntactically this command is not valid, it is wrong. So that's why here what you are getting some error message like command not found. Who is giving this message? This message is given by shell. This message is given by shell, guys, not kernel. Right? When your command will go to the kernel, if it is syntactically valid, then only it will go to the kernel. Otherwise, it will not go to the kernel. Shell only will give the error message, guys. Is it clear? What is the shell? What is the kernel? Clear?
Yes.
Right. So next, guys, let me note down these steps in our notes. We need notes, right? For everything we require notes, guys. Observe carefully. Right here, shell will read the commands. Shell will read the commands and validate those commands. Validate those commands, guys. Will read the commands and validate those commands which are given by the user, guys. See, guys, shell will read the commands and validate those commands which are given by the user. Okay, if command is valid, then shell will give instructions to kernel to process those commands, guys. Right? If command is valid, then shell will give instructions to kernel to process those commands. Right? Kernel will execute our commands. Kernel will execute right, our command, right, with the system hardware components. System hardware components, guys. System hardware components. Okay. Suppose if command is not valid, if command is not valid, if command is not valid, right, then shell will return error message, guys. Shell will return error message, guys. If command is valid, then only it will give the instructions to kernel, right? If command is not valid, then shell only will return the error message. So now here shell is going to work as a, right, shell is going to, right, work as a, right, mediator between right, user and kernel. Shell is going to work as a mediator between user and kernel. Right, kernel is going to work as a, kernel is going to, right, work as a, right, mediator between right, shell and right, system hardware components. System hardware components. Right, shell is working as a mediator between user and kernel, guys. Kernel is working as a mediator between shell and hardware components, guys. Okay. So now tell me, shell is clear. What is the scripting here, guys? Here in the shell scripting, we have two words. One is the shell. What is the shell? Clear. So now tell me, what is scripting? What is scripting, guys? Scripting is nothing but, see guys, here we have seen multiple commands, set of commands are there, pwd, date, cal, right, so ls-l. So like that, some set of commands are available at here. Right, the set of commands mentioned in a file for execution. Right, I have some set of commands. Right, I want to execute those set of commands. Right, if you keep those set of commands in a file for execution, right, that is called as scripting. Scripting is nothing but the set of commands which you keep in a file for execution is called as scripting. Right, what is scripting, guys? See here, the set of commands, the set of commands, right, mentioned in a file. Why you are keeping these commands in a file? For execution. It is called as scripting, guys. Is called as scripting. The set of commands mentioned in a file for execution is called as scripting. Okay, so to automate the routine work, guys, we will use this scripting. Automating routine work means what? Simple, guys. Daily, once I reach to the office, I need to execute some set of commands, guys. Right, to check the jobs, how jobs are running, right? So if it is failed, right, so I want to see the logs, like that. We have some set of commands which we need to execute on daily basis, right, once you reach to the office. If you want to execute those set of commands on daily basis, first thing is you should remember all those commands, guys. You should remember all those set of commands. The second thing is to execute those commands one by one. It will take some time. Also, guys. Right here, instead of doing like this, right? So if it is routine work, then why can't you automate that routine work? If it is routine work daily which you need to do, right, why can't you automate that process, guys? Why you need to remember those commands, and why you need to execute those commands daily? Not required, right? We can automate that work, guys. So whatever the routine work is there, so we can automate that routine work. To automate the routine work only, we are using the scripting, guys. Why scripting is required, guys? To automate the routine work, we will use scripting. See, guys, just to automate the routine work, to automate the routine work, right, we will use scripting. Guys, please read these statements once. Please read these statements. Here I mentioned very clearly what is the shell, what is kernel, what is the scripting, why scripting is required. Please read these statements. Anyone is there from England? Yes, please. Anyone is there from England in this batch? No. Everyone from US only. There is no you from England. No one from England. No, just I want the suppose evening 7 p.m. IST. If it is evening 7 p.m. IST, right, as per England time zone, right, what is the exact time in the England, guys? If it is in India, if it is 7 p.m. IST, in England, what is the time zone? Actually, for evening people, some England people, they are asking, guys. So, but they are asking exact time zone. I don't know that. I need to check. Not now. Now it is 2 a.m. Okay, but evening 7 p.m. No, evening 7 p.m. IST. Right, evening 7 p.m. IST equal to England time, how much? Assume in India, evening 7 p.m. I told, right, so from Monday we are going to start one new batch, right? From Monday we are going to start, pardon?
1:30 p.m. sir.
In England?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Actually, from Monday we are going to start evening batch, guys. Evening 7 p.m. one new batch is going to start from Monday. Right. So for that batch, some England people are asking the time zones, guys. 1:30 p.m. Okay. In India now the time is 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Exactly 8 a.m. in India now. Right. See, guys. So now, guys, let me take one example here, guys. So example, I'm going to take one example at here. Here, see, guys, example I'm taking here. Right, I want to execute below commands every day, guys. Every day I want to execute below commands every day as a Linux user. I want to execute some commands every day, guys. What commands? Just some example I'm giving, guys. Who am I, right? And the pwd, guys, we want to execute these commands. Just for example I'm giving like this. Okay, so and the date commands, date command, right? And here we have ls-l command, right? So like this, we have few commands which we need to execute on daily basis, guys. These are the commands which I need to execute every day as a Linux user. Okay, fine. So now, instead of executing all these commands manually, we can keep all these commands inside a file. and we can execute that file directly. If you run that file, inside the file, whatever the commands you kept, all the commands will be executed automatically. You no need to remember these commands, and you no need to execute these commands every day manually, guys. It is not required. Just keep all these files, right, all these commands inside one file and run that file. In that file, whatever the commands are there, all those commands will be executed automatically, guys. See, guys, assume these are the some commands which I need to execute on routine basis, on daily basis. So instead of remembering these commands and instead of executing manually these commands, what I will do, I will create one shell script file. Shell script file contains .sh as the extension. Inside that file, I will keep all these commands. Okay, daily once I reach to the office, directly I will run that file. In that file, whatever the commands you kept, all the commands will be executed automatically. Okay, so here the file which contains the set of commands for execution is called as a script file, right? The file which contains the set of commands for execution, that file we will call it as script file, guys. Okay, shell scripting is used to execute the set of commands using a script file, guys. Okay, so now let me write it, guys. Actually, sorry, that yesterday I told, right, Zoom issue, right? Actually, I'm facing some issue, guys, to make that it is not yet cleared, guys. That's why again it is going to stop, right? If it got stopped, right, so please rejoin once again, guys. Today I will resolve that issue, guys. Already I have sent yesterday request to that Zoom team, right? Maybe today they will get resolved that, right? So please rejoin once, guys, if it is stopped. Okay, only for today. Tomorrow onwards we won't face this problem, right? Today it will get resolved. I already have sent email. Please, guys, please support. Okay, but see here, instead of executing instead of executing right, all these commands manually, instead of executing all these commands manually, right, we can keep right, all these commands we can keep all these commands inside a file, guys. Okay, right, and inside a file, and right, we can execute that file. We can execute and we can execute so that file, guys. We can execute that file. Instead of executing all these commands manually, we can keep all these commands inside a file and we can execute that file. Right, so next, the file which contains the set of commands, the file which contains the file which contains a set of commands right, for execution is called as scripting or script file. Guys. Okay, and shell scripting is used to execute set of commands using a file, using a script file. Guys, read it, guys. See, I want to execute these set of commands every day as a Linux user. Instead of executing all these commands manually, we can keep all these commands inside a file and we can execute that file directly, right? So the file which contains these set of commands for execution is called as script file. Right? Shell scripting is used to execute set of commands using a script file, guys. Is it clear? Oh, Sahid, you are in England only. So 7 p.m. IST means 2:31 a.m. Huh? Now 2:31 a.m. you are saying. 7 p.m. IST means 2:31 a.m. in England. Is it correct? No, na. And here I mentioned like this. What is this? Fine, we'll discuss that later. Is this clear, guys? This example is clear up to here. Clear? Anyone have any questions up to here? Up to here, anyone have any questions? Fine, guys. So now observe carefully, guys. Here we have several types of shells are available, guys. We have several types of shells are available. So what types of shells are available, guys? Right, types of shells. Types of shells, guys. What type of shells are available? Observe carefully, guys. We have multiple types of shells in the Linux machines. What types, guys? Right, there are several shells available. There are several shells available, right, in Linux operating system. In Linux operating system, what we have, guys? We have Bourne shell, guys. Right, we have Bourne shell is available. Next, Bash shell is available. Bash shell is available. Next, we have Corn shell is available. Corn shell is available. Corn shell is available. And we have, right, T shell is available. And we have T shell. T shell is available. And C shell is available. C shell. And we have some jet shell is available. So like that, etc. Like that, we have several shells are available in the Linux operating system. Bourne shell, Bash shell, Corn shell, T shell, right? So C shell, jet shell, like that. Several shells are available in Linux operating system. So now I want to display the shells which are available in the Linux machine. Here we are using Amazon Linux. Here we are using Amazon Linux. In this Amazon Linux, what shells are available? I want to display that. Right? What command we need to use to display the shells which are available in this Linux machine? Guys, right here we have one folder that is called etc folder. In the home directory, in the root directory, we have a folder called as etc folder. In that etc folder, we have one file, guys, shells, guys. Observe carefully here, guys. Observe carefully. So if you want to print the shells which are available in the Linux machine, then we need to go for this location, cat slash etc folder. Inside that we have shells. Right, enter. See, guys, in this Linux machine, so these shells are available. C shell is available, T shell is available, right? Bash shell is available, SH is available. See, guys, all these things are available at here, guys. So these are the shells available in this Amazon Linux machine. Among all these shells, we have one shell that is the default shell, guys. We have one default shell among all these shells. How you know which one is the default shell? I want to display the default shell which is using in my Linux machine. How you can display? For that, right, we have environment variables. In that environment variables, already those things are set. So now by using that environment variables, we can get the name of the default shell. How you can get? See, guys, like this: echo
Recording in progress.
ఏమి చేస్తూ
Guys, please put it on mute. Everyone, please put it on mute. Right. See guys, here if you want to see the default shell which is available in our Linux machine, then what command we need to use? Echo. See guys, dollar shell we need to use. Shell. What did this command will do? This command will print the default shell which is using in the Linux machine. This command will print the default shell which is using in this Linux machine. Enter. See guys, here you can see /bin/bash is the default shell. /bin/bash is the default shell here. Sorry, like watching it. Right? If you want to see the list of shells which are available in the Linux machine, then we need to use this command. If you want to print the default shell, I want to print the default shell guys, which is using in the Linux machine, right? We need to use this command, echo shell. It will print the default shell. It will print the default shell like this guys. Here the default shell in the Linux machine is /bin/shell guys. /bin/bash is the default shell. Okay, here this is what guys, this is the environment variable. We are not creating the environment variables guys. By default, environment variables are created. Those environment variables are using by operating system. We are not creating the environment variables. It is already created guys. So this is the environment variable. So now I want to see all the list of environment variables which are available. I want to see all the list of environment variables which are available guys. How you can see guys? How you can see the list of environment variables which are available guys? What command we need to use for that? What command we need to use for that guys? I want to see all the list of environment variables which are available. How we can see that guys? How we can see that guys? Okay, observe carefully guys. Observe carefully at here. Some people are not joined. See guys, if you want to see the list of environment variables which are available in the Linux system, then we need to use env command. Env stands for environment. If you use this env command, it will print all the list of environment variables which are available in the Linux system. Enter. See guys, oh, all these are the environment variables. If you see it here, here we have shell. Shell is what? Environment variable. Here what we are doing, echo $of shell. Means inside the shell, whatever the value is stored, that value it will print it here. Here what value is stored inside the shell? /bin/bash is stored at here. Next, here user. Who is the current user? See guys, I want to check the user information. Right, how you will print echo dollar, right, user, enter. See what it is printing? EC2-user. EC2-user guys. See here user is there, EC2-user. User is the environment variable. Inside that we have EC2-user guys. Okay, so like this, term is there, shell is there, SSH client is there, right, user is there. So like this, all these are the environment variables. is creating these environment variables? I'm not creating. Already all these environment variables by default created, guys. Who is using this? Operating system using these environment variables. I'm not creating. Okay, guys, observe carefully. If you want to print the list of shells which are available in the Linux machine, then we need to go for /etc/shells. If you want to print the default shell which is using by the Linux machine, then we need to use echo $shell we need to use. If you want to print the list of environment variables, then we need to use env. Env, we need to use it here. Let me note it down those things in our notes. Now go to here. Yeah, some people are not joining, guys. That's why I'm sending message to them. Only today, guys. From tomorrow, we won't face this problem. Right. To display the shells, right, which are available in line exhibition. To display the shells which are available in line exhibition. Right. Which command? cat /etc/shell. Okay. Next, guys, I want to display the default shell, guys. Right. Display at a default shell. Display default shell, guys. I want to display the default shell, which is using in the line exhibition. Guys. I want to display the default shell. For this, what we need to do? Which command we need to use for this? env command we need to use it here. See, guys, if you want to display the list of shells which are available in the Linux machine, this is the command which we need to use. To display the list of default shell, right? Here we need to use echo $shell. Here shell is what? This is the environment variable. Inside the shell, whatever the value is stored, to print that value before that environment variable, we will use this $ symbol. Right? If you want to read the value of any variable, if you want to read the value of any environment variable, so before that variable name, we need to use the $ symbol. Right? It will print the value which is stored inside this variable, guys. Okay, and what is the use of this variable? By this command, by using this command, we can print the default shell which is using in the Linux machine. Okay, if you want to list out all the environment variables, guys, I want to list out all the environment variables which are available in the Linux machine. For that, display right, a list of environment variables display list of environment variables which are available in Linux machine. How you will display? Simple. See, guys, env command we will use it here, right? So in Linux, the most commonly used used shell is which one? Bash shell, guys. The most commonly used shell is bash shell, guys. Right? Bash shell, guys. Okay, have a look into this, guys. So there are several shells are available in the Linux operating system. So these are the different shells which we have. Right? If you want to display the shells, the total shells, list of shells which are available in the Linux machine, then you need to run this command. Right? If you want to display the default shell which is using in the Linux machine, then you need to use this command. If you want to display the list of environments variables which are available in the Linux machine, then we need to run this command. Here, what is the default shell, guys? The most commonly used shell is bash shell, guys. Bash shell, we will use it here. Okay, perfect. So now let me write the first shell script file, guys. I will show how to write the shell script file. Let me write the first shell script file. First shell script file, guys. How you will write the shell script file? Observe carefully, guys. And first we need to create the script file. Create a script file. And how you will create the script file, guys? Like this, guys. Right here we have the vim command is there. Right, vi is there. Right, vim. Yes, just I am giving the name as first script. First script, but extension should be .sh. For right, Java files .java is the extension. For Python files .py is the extension. For shell script files .sh is the extension which we need to give. Right, with this name here I am creating one script file. Okay, inside that script file I will write a simple command, guys. I will write a simple command to print some message, guys. See, guys, inside the file echo, right, I am writing welcome to shell scripting classes. Welcome to shell scripting classes. Echo welcome to shell scripting classes. I'm writing it here. So once you have written this one, then what you need to do? You need to save the file and close that file, guys. Save and quit from the file. Second step is right here, save the file, right, and close it. And close, guys. For this, what you need to do? Right here you need to press escape key and here colon, right, this colon and WQ, enter, guys. So this is what you need to give. Okay, next we need to run this script file, guys. Run the script file. Okay, here if you want to run the script file, first you need to check user have the execute permission to run the script file or not. User have the execute permission or not, you need to check. Once you check that one, right, so right, if there is no execute permission, you need to give that execute permission and you need to run that file. How you will run? See, guys, like that. Here, what is the name of the file? First script .sh. So like this, with this command we can run that script file, guys. We can run that script file. Okay, so let me do it, guys. Let me do it here. Here first I am going to create one script file and I will write some content inside the script file and I will save that file and I will run that file. Right, before going to run that file, we need to check user have the execute permission on that file or not. If not, we will provide the execute permission and we will run that file, guys. Okay, fine. So now observe carefully here. Right, first what we need to do? We need to create the script file. Here vi first script .sh. Enter. See, guys, go insert mode. Here we need to write, guys. Just I am writing echo welcome to shell scripting classes. Welcome to shell scripting classes. Echo, right, welcome to DevOps classes. Guys, tell me what is the use of this echo? If you want to print something, then we need to use this echo command. In our Java, if you want to print anything, what command we are using? System.out.println we are using. Right? In C language, if you want print something, print statement is available. Same in shell scripting, if you want to print something, then we need to use echo statement we will use to print the messages. Here, what do you want to print? I want to print these messages. Then we need to use echo before that message, like this case. Okay, fine. So now I want to save this file. How you will save? Escape button, press escape button and give this colon and give WQ. W stands for what? Write the data, save the data. Q stands for what? Quit from the file. Enter. So now, see guys, you can check it here. ls-l, ls-l guys. Right here, you can see guys. Just now, we have created one file that is firstscript.sh. Today date is February 23rd. We have created firstscript.sh file guys. Firstscript.sh we have created it here. Observe carefully guys. It just now we have created a file firstscript.sh. Now I want to run that file. If you want to run that file, first you need to check whether user have the execute permission on that file or not. Here guys, see, observe carefully. Right, user have only read and write permission. User does not have the execute permission on this firstscript.sh file. Then what I need to do? First, I need to give the execute permission. How you will give the execute permission? By using chmod command. Already we discussed the chmod command in the Linux. Right? Why we discussed all those commands earlier, guys? Right, for this purpose only. See, guys, here we have firstscript.sh file, but on this firstscript.sh file, user does not have the execute permission. User have only read permission and write permission only. Now we need to provide execute permission to the user. Then user can run this file. How you will provide the execute permission to the user? By using chmod command, we can provide the execute permission. Let me give that chmod. Right, to whom you want to provide the permission? User. So you. Right, you want to add or remove? Add the permission. Plus, which permission you want to add? Execute permission. X. Execute permission. X we are giving. On which file? On firstscript. Firstscript.sh. Guys, observe carefully. By using chmod for user, we are adding execute permission on this file. On this file for user, we are adding the execute permission. Now enter. Okay. Now you can check ls-l. Now check it once again. ls-l. So this is the first script file which we have written. Earlier, on this file, user have only read and write permissions only. Now we have provided execute permission also. Here we have provided execute permission also. Now user can run this file happily. Now let me run that file. Right, see guys. What is the file name? firstscript.sh. Enter. Whenever you have executed this file, you are getting these messages. Inside the file, what we have written? These two messages only we have written. It is printing those two messages. Welcome to shell script classes. Welcome to DevOps classes. It is printing. Is it clear, guys? How to write the script file? Is it clear?
Yes.
Right. So, and one more important thing, guys. Now tell me, right, which shell is executed this file, guys? Which shell is processor this one? Which shell is processor, guys? Respond. Which shell is processed?
Bash.
Bash shell. Very good. Bash shell, default shell, guys. Default shell only processor this one. Oh, I don't want default shell. I want to use some other shell. I want to give this task to some other shell. How you will give that? I don't want to execute my script bash shell, guys. I don't want to give this script to bash shell process. And some other shell should execute my script. Then what I need to do?
You can change the shell.
Very good. What we call this one? This is called as shebang. Guys.
Yeah.
We need to specify the shebang in the script file. Right? We will use shebang, right, to tell which shell needs to process your script. Right? Instead of default shell, I want to give this task to some other shell. Right? How you will tell that one? Right? We need to configure shebang in the script file. Okay, so how you will configure? See guys, observe carefully. Right now here, right here, go to insert mode. Right at the beginning of the script file. At the beginning of the script file, here we need to configure the shebang. Right, shebang means what you will give? Just this one, guys. Just let's see here, hash symbol and this not symbol. So this is called shebang. This is called shebang. Followed by this shebang, you need to tell which shell you want to use to process the script. I want to use bash shell only. Here I am giving /bin/bash like this. And if you want to give some other shell, then you need to give that name of the shell at here. That shell will execute your script. Okay, so this is what guys. This is what first two hash and this not symbol. This is the shebang. Followed by shebang, we need to give the name of the shell. Right, so that shell only will run your script, guys. Okay, now save this one. WQ, guys. This is one of the important interview question. In interview, there may be a chance to ask what is shebang. What is shebang? See, after configuring that shebang, also you are getting this response. After configuring shebang also you are getting the response, guys. Okay, right, so now let me add these points in our notes. Let me add this point also. What is shebang also in our notes? Shebang, that is one of the most important interview question, guys. They will ask what is the shebang? What is shebang in shell script file? They will ask shebang in shell script file, guys. See guys, here shebang in shell script file. Shebang in shell script file. Ambil 5 minutes sama 5 minutes ambil 5 minutes mana. Shebang is used to specify the shell. Shebang is used to specify the shell, right, which is used to process our script. Shebang is used to specify the shell which is used to process our script. Okay, next, shebang is the first line in the script file. First line in the script file. Shebang is the first line in the script file. How you will write that? Like this, guys. Hash, this is not. So this is the shebang, guys. So this is the shebang, guys. Okay. And after shebang, what we need to give? We need to give after shebang. We need to give the shell. We need to give the shell, right, which we need to use. Which we need to use, right, to execute our script. See guys, after shebang, we need to give the shell, right, which we need to use to execute our script, guys. Okay, if you are not giving the shebang, then what will happen? If you are not giving the shebang, right, in the script file, right, so by default, right, it will use the default shell. Guys, it will use the default shell to execute our script. If you are not using shebang, by default it will use our default shell, guys. Okay, see here syntax, guys. Syntax of the shebang guys. How you will write configure that? See guys, hash symbol, it not /bin/bash. So this is what we need to use. This is what we need to use guys. Right? So now let me add this one guys. Let me add this one. Go to here. Here I am going to modify. I am going to write one more script file guys. In the existing script only I will modify guys. Observe carefully. Observe carefully guys. Right here we have first script dot sh is available. See guys, here what I am going to do, here I am going to give some commands guys. Here I am going to give shebang as this is there. First line always we need to configure the shebang guys. Right here I am going to give some other commands guys. Right, so as a Linux user daily I want to execute some commands guys. Let's see here I am going to take right first who am I and the date and the cal and ls-l. And all these commands I want to execute. See where I'm keeping all these set of commands. I'm keeping all these set of commands inside the file. So for execution, then that file is called as what? Script file guys. Now save this WQ and here enter this. And here first script dot sh. See guys, and who am I? First command is who am I? ec2-user you are getting. ec2-user you are getting it here. Second command is the date command, you are getting the date. Third command is the cal command, you are getting the calendar. Right, fourth command guys, right, fourth command I think syntactically wrong we have given, that's why it is not printing. So like this, whatever the commands you have given inside the script file, all the commands will be executed automatically one by one in sequential order. You will get the outputs at here guys. Okay, so fine. So now let me write one more script file guys. Let me write one more script file here. Now I want to create one directory, and inside the directory I want to move. End bujide. Agelu. Here what I want to do is, right, I want to create one directory guys. Observe carefully. Here I want to create one directory, and inside the directory I want to move inside the directory, and I want to create some files guys. Some files, and I want to write some data. So this is the activity which I need to perform. See guys, what I want to do, observe carefully here. Here first I want to create the directory. For that here I am going to write one command guys. See guys, what command I am writing. See, simple guys. mkdir, go to insert mode. Here mkdir, and here directory name I am going to give as new directory. New directory I am giving as the directory name. Now I want to move inside the directory. cd, right, new dir. I want to move inside the directory, that's why cd new dir I have given. And inside the directory I want to create some files. By using touch command I am creating the files. And here I am creating files as demo1.txt space demo2.txt. Demo2.txt, like this I have given two files I have created. And inside the files I want to write some script guys. For that echo right, welcome to right, so DevOps, right, welcome to right, DevOps AWS classes I am writing. Right, this statement I am going to write in the demo1.txt file. Demo1.txt file. So next one more statement I am writing. Echo right, welcome to right, Azure DevOps. Right, welcome to Azure DevOps guys. Azure DevOps classes. Right, this statement I am going to write in second file guys. Demo2.txt file I am writing. Let's see guys. Here, so what I have written inside the script file, right? First, I want to create the directory. Second, I want to move inside the directory, and I want to create these two files, and I want to write this statement in the demo1.txt file, and I want to write this statement in the demo2.txt file. Guys, if you write like this, all the commands one by one, if you write like this, tomorrow, if any new person joined in our team, right, he can able to understand all these things. Suppose he is very new to technology. He don't know anything, guys. He can able to understand what we have written at here. No, he can't able to understand. So that's why that before each command, we need to put some comment. What this command is going to do. What this command is going to do. We need to write some comment before each command, guys. Even in our programming languages also. Before writing any method, what is the purpose of that method? We will write. Right? Before writing the class, what is the purpose of that class? We will write. So by seeing that comments, if any new person came, easily they can able to understand what is the purpose of these commands, guys. If you are not writing those commands, those comments, then they can't able to understand. How you will write the comment in the script file? How you will write the comment in the script file? Very, very easy, guys. Observe carefully. So now here, let me go to the first command, guys. Here, by using hash symbol, we can write the comment here. Here, I am writing create new directory. Create new directory folder. Right? I am writing this command just to create the new directory folder. Okay. So next, guys, here, right, one more command is there. What is the purpose of this command? Move inside the new directory. Right? Move inside the new directory, guys. Inside new directory. Inside new directory folder. Move inside new directory folder. We are writing this command, guys. Next, here we have one more command, that is touch command. What is the purpose of this command? Create two empty files. Here, by using this, we are creating two empty files. Two empty files. Okay. So next, guys, here we are writing some statement. And what is the purpose of these commands, guys? And here, print the messages. Here, write some messages in the files, guys. We need to print the message in the file. Print the message in the file. See, guys. See, so like this, you need to write the comment for each and every command in real time. In the companies, while writing the files, you need to put the comments like this. You need to maintain the comments like this. If you maintain the comment like this, tomorrow if any new person join, easily they can able to understand what these commands will do. Is it clear, guys? Is it correct or not? Respond. If you keep the comment like this, that if any new person came, easily they can understand or not? They will face any difficulty to understand this script? No, guys, easily they can understand. See here, what this command will do? This command will create the new directory. So this command, right, we will use to move inside the directory. With this command, we are creating two empty files. With these commands, we are printing the messages inside the files. Let me run this file, WQ. Okay, so now just run this file, guys. Right, see here, enter. Okay, new directory file exists. Already it is there, it is telling. Okay, now let me go. And here, let me change it, guys. New directory 1. New directory 1 I am taking. New directory 1 I am taking like this. Okay, fine. WQ. Run this. Enter. See, guys, now here you can see ls-l. Here you can see new directory 1 just now, right? Today 23rd, just now this folder is created. So now you can go inside that ls-l. See, new directory 1 is created. Go inside that, right? You can go inside that, guys. cd, right? New directory, new dir 1. Okay, here you can check, and if you check it here, you can see two files. See, guys, demo1.txt, demo2.txt files are created. So now, if you see that file, cat demo1.txt, and here we have the welcome to DevOps AWS classes, cat demo2.txt. See, here we have welcome to Azure DevOps classes. Is it clear? Folder created. we moved inside the folder to empty files we have created, and we have written some data also inside those empty files by using shell script. Is that clear, guys? Is this clear? Perfect. Perfect. Fine, guys. Already some people need to join office, right? See here, I will update these things in the notes and I will share the notes, guys. And please go through the notes. Please practice it, guys. Okay. Fine, guys. Announcement, guys. From Monday evening 7 p.m. IST, we are going to start new batch. And if anyone is looking for DevOps with AWS Cloud, please refer, guys. And give my number, my WhatsApp number. Ask them to send the message. Right. So I will so make a note of those people, guys. Right, Monday evening at 7 p.m. IST, and we are going to start new batch, guys. Okay, fine. So tomorrow we will discuss in detail, in depth, guys, some extra advanced level script files we will write in the tomorrow session. Okay, today whatever we discussed up to that I will update in the class notes and I will share the notes before coming to tomorrow session. Please practice all these things. Okay, anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions in today's session? Very good. Very good, guys. If there is no questions, I'm stopping for today. Tomorrow we will connect, guys. Right, already, right? So USA people, right? So you guys are referred so many people, guys. Thank you so much for that. Right, if any other people are looking for DevOps and AWS, right, please refer them. Right, so right, Monday onwards evening, right, new batch is going to start. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you, guys.
Recording stopped.